think we're live. We're live. Hello and welcome back to the Gamers Initiative podcast, episode 24. Right, this episode we're going to be talking about the games, the Sony recent games showcase. Their games basically. But I've got some guests as always. So firstly, without further ado, I've got the infamous Red Dead Panda. Hello, Red Dead Panda. How you doing?
I'm really well. Thank you for the introduction, Elite. Just doing my thing. Talking games every week, so thanks for having me on again. We also have two other great guests on this week.
Introduce them. Tell us all about them.
We have the amazing new Legal, who is an advocate for our gaming community and tells it like it is. So,
hello everybody.
He can't wait to speak.
I know, right?
He's like biting his lip, like I gotta
get this out. Introduce yourself, Legal. Tell us where we can find you.
Hi everybody, my name is the new Legal. I have a problem. I'm an Xbox fan, and I'm working on trying to play more games and have a lot more excitement than what I'm having. And I like to talk about games and be guest on other people's talk shows. So you can find me on Direct Gaming on YouTube. You can type in literally my gamer tag, which is the new Legal, on YouTube. That will pull up Direct Gaming, or you can also find me on Twitter, the new Legal, or you can find me in the Mansion, the X Mansion on Facebook.
Ooh.
A book of faces.
So you're going to be keeping it real and keeping us in check and all of that today on today's episode. We also have the amazing TechnoBlast with us, who is very much involved in all things Xbox and the gaming community and slapping facts at people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. How are you, Techno? And where can we find you?
What's up, everybody? This is TechnoBlast. Thank you for tuning in. This is my first time on this show. I'm having a great time, and I cannot wait to talk about the games that we have to talk about, especially the ones from the show that was presented yesterday. You can find me at Technos on YouTube, and at Twitter is TechnoBlast, the same as that you see on the screen. And thank you for having me.
Cheers. Well, before we get started, I'm just going to confirm with you guys, what games have you been playing recently? So the new Legal, what games have you been playing recently?
Been playing Aliens Fire Team. Also, I just beat the Ascent not too long ago. I love it. Got to give a shout out to Cypherman and Jizzle Gaming TV, because we put in the co-op action pack adventure on that game. Destroyed it. Love it. Learned a lot from them guys. And now I'm on Aliens Fire Team, which I love the most because it's challenging, and you gotta always wait for somebody to be online, because you're not gonna beat those boards by yourself. And I love it. So I'm pretty halfway through the game now, but I'm gonna be playing some more tonight. I actually got a new game today that I'm gonna be showcasing live, so I can't wait to do that. And I went back to what's it called? The new State of Decay 2 update board.
Oh yeah.
Whatever it was called, Tumber Valley.
Yeah, it brings back all the old maps.
I went back to the old map, to the beginning. So I've been playing those.
What's that? Techno, what have you been playing? What have you been up to?
Me? Wow. I've been knocking out some games that I've had on my backlog, like Last Stop. I don't know if you guys have played that. It's really good. It's in Game Pass. Raji and Epic Adventure. It's a kind of like a top-down game, which is also good. Deals more with the Indian culture.
Oh, okay.
Not native Indian, but
yeah,
Indian country.
Yeah.
Death Door. I did finish that. That was great. That was a lot of fun. And finished Dark Alliance, Yakuza 6, and I'm currently working on G.I. Joe Black Operation and Valhalla.
I tell you, I recently watched the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe movie. I didn't enjoy that.
How was it?
Oh, I didn't like it at all. I thought they butchered the original plot line of Snake Eyes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I sort of, I don't want to do any spoilers, but I didn't enjoy the movie very much. Watch Shang-Chi though, that was incredible. I suggest everyone go and watch that. there are so many sort of good cameos in it from other movies and stuff like that. It's really good. I suggest you watch that. Yeah. Playing wise, I've been playing. I went back and played Batman Arkham Asylum that's on Game Pass now. I thought I'd just start playing that. What else have I been playing? I've been playing other games.
Man, we're due for another Batman. We need another Batman.
Yeah, it wouldn't be funny if Xbox had that. What else have I been playing? I've been doing something else. I forgot. Oh, I think Origami drops this week, isn't it? Origami 2? So I'm looking down that. Yeah, that's on Game Pass. Looking to download that. That's quite good. So today's topic, as I said, is is thingy here. What's her name? Panda. I forget her name. You here, Panda? No. I heard her go a bit funny at one point. Go.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah. Yeah.
I must have knocked I was adjusting my microphone, and I must have knocked the mute button when I was adjusting it. So apologise.
Yeah, I heard something funny going on.
I wonder why she's so silent.
Usually not silent.
Yeah, when she goes, Zinc knows. Once she goes, it's like
once I go off,
it's like a train, locomotive just going through. Sorry. Oh, a bit of vodka. Right, so let's get the show going, shall we? So our topic, as I said, was the Sony game show, and first off, we obviously had the introduction, which oddly enough showed some people playing chess, which I think's weird. What did you guys think of the opening to it?
Oh man, I thought it was a whole other game. Like, what is going on here?
I thought this is.
And then they started showing the background of God of War. I was like, oh, it must be some sort of intro. It was pretty cool. I liked it.
I liked the intro.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the fact that clearly there was going to be some people taking away more than what was really there to do with the chess pieces of black and white playing each other. Yeah, I mean, I really just wanted them to get straight into it and just get Jim Ryan out of the way so that we could focus on the games, because I can't watch him. He's just
no. He has no charisma. He's not very likable or anything.
He's not a
like
gamer.
That. No.
He's very bland, isn't he? He's just
at least his hair didn't look.
He doesn't look like.
Oh, Sony fans! Thank you for showing up for today. I'm excited to present these games that are only on PlayStation 5. Yeah. It doesn't say anything about PlayStation 4. It's like, yes, they are. They're on PlayStation 4.
I just thought it was nice that his hair didn't look as horrendous as it did when he announced the PS5 logo at the beginning of last year.
Oh, they probably told him not to drink before a presentation.
His face does look like it's been melted.
Get a stylist.
His face looks like melted butter.
Legal. What did you think of that opening video?
It is what it is. It's the same old stuff, man. I don't get tickled off that stuff. I don't get tickled off of Sony intros or anything like that. I just when I go to watch a Sony game, I'm going to kick my feet up, get my popcorn ready, and put my shades on. I just
8 hours.
I just sit back. Yeah, I sit back like I'm going to a comedy show. I sit up in the front row seat. It's like going to a stand-up comedy show that you've never been to. You don't even know if the comedian's gonna be funny, so you just sit there. When he tells some jokes, you just sit in there. That's kind of like how I am. So, to me, Jim Ryan he looks like a puppet. It looks like Pinocchio on stage. Just he's a businessman coming out there representing Sony and the business side of things. He doesn't even know how to connect with the gamer culture.
Yeah.
He's not a gamer. It's kind of sad and pathetic at the same time that Sony still has somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Is how they threw him up on stage. But to be honest, the guy at the end of the show that was doing the interviews to the devs, he might as well have been the person to open up the show for PlayStation. He seemed more like a gamer than Jim Ryan.
Yep. I agree with you there.
And New Zealand got a Herman lad as well, don't they? Herman comes across.
Yeah,
somebody comes across as like a Bond villain. I don't know why.
Bond villain.
I don't know why he just comes across as that to me.
All right, so just to kind of give everyone a rough go through of the show. So we're going to talk about the games that were shown on Sony Showcase, and then we're going to talk about what we really thought about the actual showcase.
So,
all right.
Should we
start us off a little?
Yeah, start with the first game. So the first game they showed after that incredible introduction was Knights of the Old Republic, a remake. It's been developed by Aspyr and LucasArts. And being published, which people seem to be under the impression that Sony are publishing the whole game. They're not. They're only publishing the PS5 version. This is why PS5 have got exclusivity to it for now, because it is actually a timed exclusive. It's because they're publishing the PS5 version, much like how MLB was on Game Pass. Sony published the MLB version, but not the Xbox version. So.
Yep.
So what does everyone think of that?
That is correct, sir. That is super correct. Understand that the reason why this is getting money passed around from Sony is just so that they can have the first dibs and look like they actually have something going on that's going to be worth more than anybody else. But on the high side of things, it's not really. It's just a business deal. On top of that, we already have Knights of the Old Republic. I think it's at 120 frames per second, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
for 4K 60 with HDR in it. So I mean, we've already been there, done that. It's a great game, but hey, us Xbox fans, we're living the great life. We're living the good life in next gen. Somebody else can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already Xbox One enhanced. Xbox One enhanced has auto HDR. So if you want to play it, you're not missing out. It's right there for $9, for $10 or so.
Yeah.
And you can get it and play. I think it's in Game Pass.
It was. That's where I played it in Game Pass. Yeah.
So it's in Game Pass.
So
but I'll be the first to tell you that I freaked out a little bit when I saw it and saw that it was like a PlayStation thing only at first, and didn't read between the lines that it's it may come later to Xbox. So I was one of those guys that kind of like was scrambling for information. It's like, dude, I gotta find something. It has to be timed exclusive, timed. And I couldn't find anything until 6 says something like, okay, well then, there you go.
Yeah, because
it really didn't bother me. It really didn't bother me because we already had the game.
Yeah.
See, I'm a bit of an achievement whore, so I will actually play the remake for the achievements because it came out on the OG Xbox, so it doesn't have achievements.
That's
Obviously,
facts.
yeah. I guess the thing is, like, Sony has a tendency to not really tell you the whole truth. They tell you half the truth consistently, or they just lie to your face, really. But with Knights of the Old Republic being a remake, they could have at least been a lot clearer, like with Xbox's wording, like if it's a console exclusive or a world premiere or whatever you want to talk about it. It's really clear where the game is going and what platforms it is going to be on, so that people have an idea on whether or not they need to buy a PS5 or hold back and play it on PC or wait for the Xbox version to come out. I'm excited for this. Like, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so I was a bit hyped. I was just a bit annoyed at, I guess, watching the Twitter space blow up about this and everyone's trying to, like, call it out as a PS5 only exclusive when there is no evidence that it's only coming to PS5, guys. No evidence.
It literally said console exclusive, and I think it might have said timed console exclusive as well during the advert, which says it all really.
Yeah.
Is that the key phrase when it says console exclusive?
Yes, because exactly as I posted on Twitter, I use exactly the same phrase for Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Console times exclusive. Exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much. They didn't show much here. It was just like the name, the fact it's a remake, and they had the image of that guy.
The only worry
no release window.
Yeah. The thing I posted on Twitter, the only worry to it is that I think it says it's more based around the new movies, not the old ones. Did you see that?
Oh, really?
And if you watch the trailer to it, it actually is the new guy, isn't it? The new thing in. That worries me because the new movies weren't as good as old movies, so that would be a bit of a shame.
As long as they stick to the source material in regards to what is canon and then offset that, like what they did in KOTOR originally, then I think we should be fine. But I think it's interesting that it's a different studio. People are running away going, can't believe this isn't on Xbox. I mean, Xbox doesn't own the IP for KOTOR. Like, they don't own it. So anyone can publish it. Yeah. Neither does Sony. Yeah. Exactly the point. So for you to try and make it anything other than what it is, it's a game announcement. We don't know anything more than that. There's no release window. Just wait till we have more information and stop acting like you've won everything because of this one announcement.
And
I like
But Red,
I've got that legal speak.
but Red, isn't that the reason why we're on social media to act dumb?
Yeah.
hell
That's
yeah, I
the
do it
whole
all the
point.
time.
There you go. We act dumb. We act like we really don't know what's going on all the time. We got blurts just to see if people going to get
Dude,
the reaction.
every day I could be a different person. One day I'm like a PS5 fan, like the number one soy boy fan, and next day I'm like all Xbox. Everybody falls for it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we do? We get on social media and we act like we don't know things.
Yeah. I mean, Kid Smooth even got ratioed over it, didn't he? Because after the show, because he said everything on there was excellent apart from GTA. He said everything there was a day one buy, and people ratioed him
Oh,
saying
yeah.
really, and then went through all the games again saying really.
You can't give your opinion about that and go it's a day one buy, because to everyone else, like, there are games on this list that I would get.
awful.
There are also games on that list I'm gonna go, yeah, I'm gonna pass for like forever.
We'll get
Never gonna play that trash.
we'll get to those. But I mean, the bottom line is,
Let me make it funny. I'm just glad he's playing games. That's my funny for the day.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's playing games.
There you go.
the bottom line is,
Yeah.
KOTOR is and has been on Xbox for 10 plus years. So it's really
Yeah.
it is, isn't it? It's got to be. How old is it now? It's old. So it's really the whole we get this, you don't is a bit of a breach really, because we've actually got it now. We can play it now. We can play it tomorrow. So you're just getting a remastered version, which they're putting.
What I would
like to understand
They're
more-
charge them £70 for it as well.
Sorry, what
Would
were you
I-
gonna say, Nick?
What I like to understand more about, isn't it a BioWare game?
Yeah.
And somebody else.
It was originally made by, was it BioWare? Or no, wasn't it Rare? Didn't Rare do that?
I have to look.
KOTOR, wasn't it Rare?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. It might have been BioWare actually.
I think
you're right.
BioWare.
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 BioWare, yeah.
BioWare not doing
They did
this
Jade
one.
Empire, right?
Yeah, BioWare not doing this. It's the new.
Yeah, but they're not doing this. So I wonder if they just said, "Hey, yeah, go for it."
Yeah, we don't want it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Should we move on to the next game?
Well, before we do, I just want to say that, all PlayStation gamers do is buy remakes. So it's a remake station. That's just a fact.
Oh,
Because that's all they seem to be buying
is.
is remakes or director's cuts.
no, they don't.
Or not
buy-
playing at all.
They don't.
Or
buy-
not playing at all. Yes.
They don't buy next gen
Not playing at
consoles to
all.
buy old games. Have you not heard?
So that's why they have to buy a remake. It's the only way that they can convince themselves to spend money on a new
It's
game.
new.
New old
They
game.
call
Yeah.
them new games, don't they? It's not an old game.
Yeah.
It's a new game.
They're not really going to
It's
play a
remastered
new
for
game.
it,
They're not
yeah.
really going to play a new game.
The amount of debates I've had
If
about
they
it.
did, Returnal wouldn't have failed. Wouldn't have
Yeah.
failed. If Returnal came out, it wouldn't have failed. So they don't play new games.
Right, let's
They
go
don't.
on to- well,
If
the
it's
next,
out of their comfort zone, they're not playing it.
yeah. The next game was Project Eve. To be honest, I can't remember this game. Go on, Red.
That's the one that looked like Bayonetta.
Yes, I thought that too. I saw it. I was
Yeah.
like, that looks like Bayonetta.
It has the mechanics and like the quirkiness of Bayonetta, and I
Art
liked
style. Yeah.
it. Yep, and I liked it. So, I think it's also Multiplat. I saw that somewhere.
Yes, it's
85%.
Multiplat, and it's a new game. So it's one of the new games that PlayStation actually showcased at this event.
Thank you, PlayStation. Thank you for showing me what I can get later on. Appreciate you. I just wait. I can't wait to actually see the next gen features though. That's my only thing. My TV's not really when PlayStation shows the game, it's not really showing it the way I would see it. But it's okay. I guess I can take the leftovers right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, you got plenty in Game Pass, anyways.
I mean,
That's right.
have they released a 4K version of their stream? Because that's the thing. Like Xbox will, stream it, and then there'll be a 4K version available to watch as well.
Well, I think they warn you first that it's going to be like a 1080 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they publish the 4K.
Hopefully they're going to publish the 4K because
I think.
they've still only got the 1080p, and then you have to watch the 4K for the individual trailers. Which I was like, why am I watching this on my 4K TV if I can't take advantage of it at this point?
Yeah.
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 Poor guys.
But it looks.
Anyway.
It's Multiplat and. Yeah, so.
I got nothing to say about this. I want to see more. That's all I'm gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of games that I'm gonna be like, I want to see more about that. But
Yeah.
Elite, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Let's move on to the next game because it's absolute gold.
Yes.
Do you want to introduce it?
Tiny Tina's Wonderland, like
Oh.
Gearbox software. Has a
Anything with
release
Tiny
date.
Tina, is a hit.
Yeah, it's got a release date for the 25th of March, 2022. It is a multiplat and cross-gen game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what about Peppa Pig, man? Come out in October.
Hey, I'm getting that, dude. Don't make fun of me. I'm
I'm
getting that.
getting that, man. I am too. I'm getting it. Shout out to the Peppa Pig devs that responded back to me.
Hey,
Said
I have Paw Patrol on my Switch, so no.
There you go. Tech, do you want to lead with Tiny Tina's
Lead to
Wonderland?
charge.
What do you think?
Day one, as Kids Move said, day one.
Yeah, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It's quirky because that's what Tina is. She is very quirky, crazy, and she likes to scream a lot, and that's what makes her awesome. So definitely a day one.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm getting that day one. Legal, what were your thoughts on the trailer for this?
Whack.
Whack?
Too grown for that. Yeah. Too grown for
Whack?
that. Yeah, give me Peppa Pig, man. I'm not playing it. Not playing that trash. Not playing that trash, man. I'm next gen, bro. I'm next gen. I'm hardcore. I'm not playing it.
So you're not playing any cross-gen games anymore?
If it's coming to Game Pass, I'm good. I'm not buying. I'm not wasting my money on it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Elite, what did you think of Tiny Tina's Wonderland?
This was the one that looked like what do they call them? Bubbleheads.
Borderlands.
Yeah, but with bubbleheads. Did they have bubbleheads?
Well,
At some
that's
points.
in the, I guess, the tabletop view, because
Yeah.
it looks like they're playing like a
It's
Dungeons
random
and
and weird.
Dragons style game, and then you go down into the actual third person or whatever it
Yeah.
is, first person,
What-
and you actually get to see your characters as they would be.
My main sort of concern is what's Gearbox doing? Because they've finished with Borderlands 3 and they seem to be doing alright. Then they drop back to Godfall, which...
Oh, she
is
doesn't.
it Godfall?
They didn't do Godfall; they just helped publish it.
Oh, right, which stank. Really, to be honest, that stank as well. And now they're doing this, which just looks... They seem to be going backwards. I don't know, they just seem to be undeveloping and just getting worse as a dev team. I just don't get this game. I don't see the point in it.
Well, I'll do this for you, and you'll hear it first here.
Yeah.
Their studio is only not that far from my house, so I'll go over there and knock on their door. It's like, hey, what the hell?
Yeah, do that.
Elite wants to know what's going on with you.
Yeah,
Oh dear, when you knock on their door, can you ask to test that game?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, sort your shit out, and also give me a copy of this game to test.
Exactly. No. Truly, yeah, they're in town here in Dallas. They're not too far from. They're like 20 minutes from where I live. And
I think you should
We
knock
can
on the door and
just visit
say,
and say-
Roadhouse.
you know what? We should do this live one day. I'll have my phone on me and like, okay, guys, you guys are live here on Elite's Gamers Initiative. We want to know what's the problem with Borderlands.
Yeah, yeah.
Facts.
Okay, I think our panel is split because I'm on board with Techno on the fact that this game looks good. Like, I will buy it.
does. I like
day
it.
one.
I
Like,
thought you were
it
being
hits
sarcastic.
everything that I love. It hits everything that I love about those style of games. Like, I love Dungeons and Dragons, so that tabletop type mentality. And then I love anything to do with like fantasy or magic,
So wait,
and
you're-
it's got shooting, so it kind of hits everything.
Techno.
Yeah.
Was you being sarcastic? Or was you actually being honest as well?
No, I was being for real.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I really read that wrong.
50-50 panel. Like,
I thought you was both
I
being
looked at this
sarcastic.
trailer and I was like, I'm gonna put money down on that.
Okay.
And the good thing about this is it's not a PlayStation exclusive. I don't have to buy a PlayStation to play it. I've got my Xbox Series X, got my S upstairs. I can even play it on PC if I want. Anywhere I want, I can play it. So that's why I was hyped for it. Like, it didn't matter that this was showcasing on PlayStation because I knew I would be able to play it on Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on.
At least, like,
Yeah.
I'm over this topic. I'm over this game. Let's move.
Tina's Wonderland. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I'll wait till they go on sale for Christmas or something.
Well,
Fair
Game
enough.
Pass. Wait till it goes in Game Pass.
Yep.
Hey, at least it'll
Yep.
be cheaper on Xbox than PlayStation because you know they're charging that $70 for that game.
Yeah.
Facts.
Good deal.
Facts.
For,
Hey, patience is on my side. Patience is on my side.
we had
Yep.
Forspoken next. Techno.
That was
What do you
That
think?
one did look interesting.
Square Enix.
Yes, it's a Forspoken. It's a third person game. Goes around some Fantasyland looking place, and there's some magic going on. I'm down for that. If it's
Nothing yet.
If it's Multiplat, which is it Square Enix?
At the moment, it is just announced for PC and PS5, but I think it's going to be a timed exclusive.
Yeah, I reckon it is.
Yeah.
Well, if it's not coming, then that's
Play
too
it on
bad for me.
PC.
Yeah, play on PC.
My only
If it's on PS4, I still got my PS4.
Yeah, my only concern is it reminded me of Breath of the Wild. The world looked big, but empty.
It does.
Nothing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like desolate. That was, I don't like games where you just running around an empty world. That's kind of why the reason it put me off Halo 1.
Oh, yeah. This is the third time we've seen it, because remember it was like Project Ethereal or whatever, Athena or whatever it was when
Is
it
it?
first
This is
announced.
the first time I've seen it.
And then the second time they announced its actual title.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing another trailer which shows a bit more about the world and the story and everything like that. I think it looks interesting. I'm going to wait to see more about it because there's still not enough about this game. And they're real vague about telling you information about it. Because, I mean, it says spring 2022, but if you look at the amount of games that are coming out for PlayStation next year, there are going to be so many games that they announce coming out 2022 that are going to be delayed to 2023 because
you know it.
That's how they're going to do it.
You know that.
That's how they're going to string you along.
Spider-Man 2, you know it's going to be 2024. Wolverine 2025, 26. You know this. You know God of War is coming out to 23.
That's easy. Yeah, that's easy stuff, right?
Did you like the trailer for Forspoken there, Legal?
Not really. Like I said, I'm ready for next gen stuff, man. That stuff all looks typical to me, man. I'm not missing anything. It looks too typical. It looks last gen. I'm not thrilled about anything that looks last gen. I'm just not. Not when it comes to having a show. When you're having a show, I'm looking to be amazed. I wasn't amazed at anything. And the sad part, I wasn't even amazed about how God of War looked.
Yeah.
So
considering...
I was going to say, so Legal agrees with the PS4 fanboys who all generation quoted sales, but now quite happy to kick PS4 to the floor, to the curb. Now I'm done with PS4. It's like, thanks PS4, you're trash, go away. Basically like that now.
Do you not know that there's a civil war between PS4 and PS5 people?
Yeah, I know, I've seen it. It's terrible, isn't it?
PS5 people are knocking the PS4 people for getting the PS4 version because they don't have a PS5.
Yeah.
It's like watching the MC universe all over again.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But yeah, I think it's interesting. Like Legal, you saying like it doesn't look next gen, and I think you're right. Like we listen to the amount of Sony fanboys coming out and complaining about Xbox's showcases because they're like, "Where are the next gen games? It doesn't look next gen." And now they're like, they're the complete opposite, and they're just accepting everything that Sony gives them. But they gave us trash time and time again about any of the games Xbox showed because it didn't fit their idea of what next gen would be. Shut the fuck up, guys.
Whoa,
there she is. Wow, where'd that go?
That just pissed me off.
The thing.
Stop being hypocrites.
The funny part about it all, right, is every Xbox game that has dropped, every single one of them has been 4K. Gears Tactics 4K, MLB The Show 4K, The Medium 4K, Microsoft Flight Simulator 4K. Forza Horizon 5 is going to be in 4K. Halo Infinite is going to be in 4K. We don't never have to doubt our position of visuals or performance. We don't, and there's no compromise between it. If anything, things get better. So we don't. When we look and evaluate games now, we are expecting to get what we've demanded. See, here's the difference. And I'm sorry to go off track, but it's got to be said. There's a difference between the communities, right? PlayStation community has accepted anything and everything that Sony does to them. Even Destin called this out from IGN. He's called them out on it. He's like, you guys are gonna have to start calling out the BS that Sony does to y'all. That's a fact. I'm not saying this just to be saying this is a fact. But we have demanded since last gen, we want it better. We know Microsoft could do better. We held them to their standard. And so they delivered a product that resembles our feedback. Sony fan base has exactly what they deserve from being the kind of fan base they are. You can't close your eyes and have dreams and then wake up and think that just because Sony has the biggest fan base that it automatically makes the console better. No, that's not working for you now. And now you don't have anything to go off of. You can't. There's nothing you can go off of because you're really hoping that Sony's going to pull through from you. But the tech inside that console isn't just going to magically get better. It is what it is. You just got to accept it and roll with the punches. You got to accept it.
Yeah. I mean,
reducing
the heatsink is really going to improve the technology in the device. So yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Right, just facts. Anyway, what's our next game? Oh. Rainbow Six Extraction, right?
DLC
that's Ubisoft.
Rainbow Six. Does anyone care?
Yeah, basically. And 2022. I don't care about this. It's not going to be a game I play.
Do you even play it at all?
Nah.
I don't either.
I used to play my son's really good at played it competitively, but it's got you got too many DDoSers and hackers in it now. His game's ruined.
Oh really?
Yeah, DDoS you all the time in it. So
no, I never. I had it. I got it somehow for free, but I never played it, and so I was like, I traded it in.
I think it's on Game Pass, isn't it as well? I'm
pretty sure
so. It's on Game Pass, yeah.
And I mean, the alien stuff is cool because I like anything that has aliens.
Yeah.
But the base of Rainbow Six Siege, I never got into it.
I think they're dragging out too long. They're basically doing like a GTA of it, aren't they? They've made one game, they just keep dragging it out and keeping it going, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Oh, what do you know? We have that on the list, huh?
Oh yeah.
GTA.
Yeah, I was going to. We'll talk about that when we get to it because we've got another remaster coming up, haven't we? Alan Wake Remastered, another Xbox title, which
Remaster Station is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Now, this is good for anybody who hasn't played it, so that would be any PlayStation fan. If they're a hardcore fan,
exactly,
and they haven't, they never had an Xbox, then this is a great get because the game is fantastic. It is awesome. I played it, I think, a couple of times, and the DLCs. And if you're getting a better looking version, well, that's good, fantastic, because it is a great game. The story and everything that's and the graphics. I mean, even the old one, even the original one looks good.
Sad though, they've done a comparison on Twitter, didn't they? You see the comparisons between the old and the new, and they're showing the comparison's not very good. The remastered version isn't that much better than the old version.
Development guys.
11 years later. 11 years later.
It isn't, yeah.
You know what? I gotta give Microsoft some kind of respect, right? It just starts to feel like Microsoft is just cleaning out his closet and saying, you know what? You need a shirt? Here, take this shirt. We've had it for 11 years. We don't need it no more. It's like hand-me-down. So, it's like, hey, 11 years later, man, I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey, it is what it is, man. Enjoy it. Go buy it. And make sure you buy the game, too. Support Remedy. Remedy's doing crossfire hits for us, so they need all the support they can get. Go support this game and put some more money in their pockets so they can give us another strong exclusive story.
They deserve to be an independent studio. They've got some great games out there, and they do the work. And it's nice that this is going out to part of the community that never got to play it before. I think it's interesting though that because it's Remedy Entertainment, people are out there saying like, "Oh my gosh, this should have been on Xbox's show." But it's like Remedy got the IP back from Microsoft, so they can publish it and show it wherever the hell they want.
Yep.
Who cares what show it ends up on? Because it's going to be Multiplat, it's going to be cross-gen, and it's also coming out next month. Like, this is not a win for PlayStation.
Oh, is it? I didn't even realize that.
October 5th. Yeah. This is not a win for PlayStation just because it showed up on PlayStation.
Well, in their thoughts, in their minds, it is a win because they took it.
Yeah,
it's something that Xbox had for 11 years, and now we have it. You know.
Okay, great. Well, we got Crash Bandicoot. We're even.
Yeah.
Who was it? It was
Oh
Brad,
my
it was Brad
gosh.
that said it on Twitter. Actually, he said, "Why is Microsoft Xbox not doing better to pick up these games like KOTOR and Alan Wake?" I responded simply by saying, "Because they're not wasting money on third-party remasters. Instead, they're putting their money into first-party new titles, new IPs, which is what we want to see. We want to see next-gen first-party IPs. We don't want to see £70 remasters of games that have been on the Xbox for the past 10, 15 years. We want to see new games, and I'm backing Phil on not spending money on them. They shouldn't throw money at them. And
I mean, it would be.
Also, Elite and Panda and Tech. Remedy, it's a rumor. Well, I don't even know at this point. It's a rumor. It's like somebody reportedly has been told that Remedy is making Alan Wake 2 with Epic Games. So it makes sense to go ahead and get this game out there to the masses. Because if they're really making an Alan Wake 2, it's going to be multiplayer.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been nice. It would have been nice if these had shown up on Xbox's showcase, but it's not the end of the world because we already have these games. As we've said consistently, we already got Alan Wake, we already got KOTOR. Yes, the remasters would be nice. Like, Alan Wake is something I won't play because I'm a wuss. I tried playing it originally and it scared me too much, so...
Did it really?
Yeah, because I'm afraid of the dark. As an adult, how sad is that? But... yeah, it just was too dark for me. Like,
so you're telling me you wouldn't play Outlast in the dark with your headset on?
No, I even play because of Hellblade with the voices in your head. I'll play with the lights on. yeah.
Oh,
I'm a wuss.
Actually, do you know what would be really good? Like if PlayStation did get the Alan Wake remastered and KOTOR remastered, so they made sequels to these games. But then Xbox bought those sequels. They were both exclusive. Can you imagine that? So they've just had a taster of the remastered versions,
what a
but don't get the
tease.
sequel. That'd be brilliant. If Xbox to save the money and done that.
I just think it's going to be interesting when these games release, and these PlayStation fan babies are paying $70 for the PS5 version of their game, and we won't be.
Yeah, exactly. They will very likely be on Game Pass, both these games.
Because what you're getting and what you're paying for on the PS5 is literally dynamic 4K.
Yeah.
And also just the DualSense capabilities. Because apparently that is the reason why they score so high on Metacritic for the same game on another platform. It's got to be the DualSense controller, right?
Mm.
No.
Gotta be.
No. That's the only logical explanation. Oh, no. All right.
I gotta shout out to Team Reaper there in the chat. He says, "Yep, he's playing a lawnmower simulator. Hey, I do that every week outside. It's the real life lawnmower. What I do."
How
good are those graphics in Techno? Is that on the new Unreal 5? Are you using a PS5 to mow your lawn?
I don't know, but I gotta cut my lawn every year, so I don't need the game for it. I do the real deal.
I thought it was a joke. I honestly didn't think there actually was a lawnmower simulator. I thought someone was kidding.
Oh yeah.
The trailers for that. There's a lawnmower simulator.
Well, okay. Before all these simulator games, do you not remember that bread game that you're a slice of bread?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, these aren't games. As far as part of the community has told us, simulation games are not games.
Oh yeah.
So that's right.
You gotta remember that.
So when we get to Gran Turismo,
why are they paying $70 for it if it's not a game?
Yeah.
Just saying. Why are you paying $70 if it's not a game?
Yeah. So, Gran Turismo 5 they showed next. So now, didn't they open their show last year with Gran Turismo? I'm pretty sure they did. They did, didn't they?
They had another show with it.
Yeah.
Aren't you talking about GTA? Isn't that the next one on the list? GTA 5 and GTA Online?
Just bounced onto GTA, yeah. I think we've done Random Wake. Yeah, Gran GTA. So they opened their show last year with Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And now they're showing it again. I don't know what they're...
GTA?
That's really desperate. Yeah, GTA.
You keep saying Gran Turismo.
I do keep saying Gran Turismo, yeah. It's because I'm looking at it on the Gran Turismo on the screen, but in my head I'm thinking, GTA. I went Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, Rockstar's milking that online stuff, man. Yeah. I've never played the online, and to me, it just kind of seems like Roblox. It's just a huge mess.
Yeah, I never
in the game.
I never liked them.
And
Interesting to see what they charge for the remaster for the optimization on next gen because it's Multiplat. It's coming out March next year.
oh no,
Yeah.
really? That's another. Did they have one for the One and PS4?
They had the definitive edition for the PS4 and the Xbox One because this is a 360 game and PS3 game. And now you've got PC gamers going, are we going to get these enhancements?
But they're PC. They have enhancements. They're video card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Put a 3090 in and you're sorted.
Yeah.
What enhancement are they trying to get? Your enhancement is your video card.
Good on Rockstar for being able to carry a game on for so long. The same game, but it is.
Good on them.
I'm just
all they're
shocked
doing
people
is
still buying it.
laughing all the way to the bank.
Are you serious? This is a 360 game. I don't remember being that old. It's a 360 game.
They're doing
GTA 5 came out on the 360. Yeah.
They're basically doing what Sony tries to do, but better. Aren't they, basically? But just repeating the same game and getting money, rinsing people for money for the same game. They're just doing what Sony's done. Trying to do, but
yes,
that's basically what Sony's trying to do now: rinse people for the same game. But no, so
the problem with this announcement is like when they announced the Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game, they actually showed you the enhancements you were getting from the 360 and PS3 to the next gen or last gen systems now, but you're not seeing that. Like they've shown this twice now, and you don't know all the enhancements you're getting. You don't know the benefit to even getting to playing it on next gen systems. Right. And they haven't even told you how you're going to upgrade. Like, is it pay to upgrade? We're just going to offer it to you free. Obviously, it's going to be pay to upgrade. Who wouldn't? For them, because it's Rockstar and they love to make money. And they love to milk their franchises. But yeah, I think that's stupid. Like, if you're going to show it a second time and it's coming out March next year, show us a reason to even consider getting it on next-gen systems.
Exactly. Exactly. At this point, you're already making upscale 1080p games. Like, the work. See, that's what I was telling them. Me and Elite was telling them back then. All your words and all your narratives are going to come back and bite y'all. Because we know Sony, man. Sony don't develop nothing in time for anything. They're always behind. They're always trailing behind on something. The only thing that you guys do to try to make Sony look good is try to buy those consoles and make it seem like because you buy those consoles are selling that, hey, look, Sony's the best. But the problem is this. You don't make games. You don't develop the games. You buy those games. So you can't control how these games are going to come out. Now that you know you can't control how these games are going to come out, you know that your console is limited. So that console's only going to perform to a certain level. And each game that keeps coming out for PlayStation 5 is hitting that brick wall. And that's where the PlayStation fans are having a hard time right now. That's why they kind of trying to throw jabs at us, but we're like, oh, we next gen. Your jabs feel like 2-year-old punches. Like, what's wrong with your game, though? But why is your game looking like that? Why is your game looking like a PlayStation 4 game? They don't want nobody to say that. They don't want nobody to call it out.
Jim has already said to everyone that to get the enhancements of a game that is already out for your PS5, you're going to have to spend $10 at least.
Yeah.
They've already confirmed that your upgrades are going to cost you no matter what. Like, that's a bit shit. And people still buying into that. Demand better, guys. Demand better.
Because you know why, Red Dead? You know why, Red Dead? Because they don't understand that free upgrades is an actual next-gen feature. It's called smart delivery.
PC been doing it for years, guys, for free. We now have it.
Smart delivery, right? Smart delivery is a next-gen feature. It's a guaranteed next-gen feature. When the Series X was coming out and they was explaining all the next-gen features, smart delivery was one of those features.
Contrast to what PlayStation said previously, where they were like, well, it's up to the devs if they want to charge for next-gen upgrades. And it's like, well, you've just come out and said you're going to have to pay for your next-gen upgrade. So it's really not up to the devs, is it? Which is it? You say one thing, you mean another. You try and change the narrative again. All they're doing is moving the goalposts, and all the suckers keep following those goalposts and make it their own narrative. Think for yourselves, guys. Think as a consumer. And think as a gamer.
Right. On that note, Ghostwire Tokyo, the next show, the next game they showed.
Xbox.
Yes. Xbox exclusive game. Ghostwire Tokyo, yes, by Tango Games, who Xbox own. So obviously Sony bought exclusivity to this game before Xbox bought the studio, so that's awkward. So they're getting the game first. So what do you guys think of Ghostwire Tokyo?
I'm intrigued because it looked like there's a bunch of Slendermans running around and you got to defeat them.
Yeah. To be honest, I did think that it did look great. It did look very last gen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunate that they're going to get it first, even after Microsoft purchased the studio. If it was me, I would have been the asshole and say, you know what, contracts are done. This is our game now.
Bitch.
You know?
Yeah.
Bitch. Yes. But yeah, I mean,
With PlayStation, that would have been the case.
It would have been the case, yes.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh yeah, definitely, and of course, everybody would have been gloating about that. I'm all for it, man. Anything that's freaky, anything that has freaky stuff like this, a bunch of like warping physics crap, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching a trailer right now to kind of give me a refresher, and it looks badass for me.
It looks good.
Ghostwire.
Yeah.
I just thought the graphics looked it looked a bit dated. It'd be interesting to see more of it, but yeah, I can wait for it. Hopefully it
I only watched the new trailer in 1080p, so I still have to watch it in 4K to actually get the full understanding of what it's going to look like in 4K.
Oh, then yes, go to Xbox then.
Yeah, exactly. Legal, what were your thoughts on Ghostwire Tokyo?
I would say it's one of the positive things. I'm looking for Xbox to really make an impact. Because it's due to the PlayStation 5 not being very popular over there now. The Japanese audience don't like big bulky things. So it's one of those things where PlayStation isn't doing well. Xbox can come in and really make an impact with the Series S. I think the Series S really speaks to that crowd, our Japanese Xbox crowd over there. And with their help, I think that it can entice a lot of people over there that used to be strong PlayStation fans who are no longer strong PlayStation fans. This little console can put out 1440p, 120 frames per second of performance. I think it can do well. We got the xCloud going over there on their handheld devices. They're able to be more mobile with their Xbox experience, and I think that fits the environment, the culture better for Xbox to look more appeasing to them. And it looks like Microsoft right now with the team that they have over there is doing good stuff. And we listened to Phil earlier this year when he said he's going to be going over there. So he says he's going to be making more trips over there, talking to more devs over there. So let's see what he's been up to. I'm kind of excited. I'm hoping to see at least 2 Japanese critically acclaimed games coming up out of that. It's going to really get me stoked. That's me. That's me. I'm saying 2. I'm calling for 2, not 1, 2. So
Because it's what Tokyo
that's
Game Show end of the month.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm going big. Ain't no reason to think small anymore. I'm going big.
I am actually looking forward to Ghostwire Tokyo. This is the first trailer I've seen of it, which I felt like I got more of an understanding of what the game was, the gameplay, and a bit of a story element to it. So I think I'm going to give it a go, even though it'll probably scare me. I'm gonna try it and see how I'll fare. Obviously, timed exclusive, so we'll wait till it comes. But I think the interesting thing is the narrative that PlayStation guys are coming out with. Are like, you're going to have to wait a whole year for it. No one's going to play it after that. It's going to be dead on Xbox. He didn't say that when, oh my god, why can't I think of it? Tomb Raider had year-long exclusivity deals. Why is it now, just because it's first out on PlayStation, that you think it's going to be dead on arrival on Xbox's side? Xbox has shown consistently, time and time again, that as fans and gamers, we will play a game and support the devs. Like we played Hellblade when it launched on the PS4 initially, and eventually came to Xbox. We're going to be doing that with Deathloop. We're going to be doing it with this game, and we're going to be doing it with games moving forward because Game Pass is a way to get people in to a game and experience it without spending that $70 price tag. Because we're still in the midst of a pandemic. No one should be there giving out all that money when they can't actually afford it. Like PlayStation is so out of touch, in my opinion, on what they're charging for games and the environment we're living in at the moment, that if you want to keep releasing $70 games on the PS5, people are going to have to be really selective about the games they buy.
Do you know what's interesting is that they say that, yet then they're capping for Knights of the Old Republic and Alan Wake. How can you say sort of, you've got to wait a whole year for these games to play them? But like, how long have they waited to
They've
play
waited
Alan
11
Wake?
years.
Yeah, 11 years for those games. So, and now they're saying they're brilliant and fantastic. They are. So, you know, they're sort of the narrative's destroyed there by themselves, really. Should we move on to the next game then?
Who's echoing? Others said there's a bit of an echo.
Yeah, that's new legal. It's the big for the start. Yeah.
He's probably doing a
That's all right.
speakerphone.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll get through there, guys. Bear with us.
Yeah, mute yourself, legal, unless you're going to chat.
There we
There
go.
we go.
I talked
And
to
then
her.
just remember to unmute yourself when you want to talk. Can you hear us talking, actually, now?
He's probably busy doing.
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear y'all. I got you.
He's around.
Yeah, cool.
Probably
He's
slapping
around.
his
No, I
kid.
got you. I got y'all.
No, he does that with me too.
What are you thinking, Elite, on this game? Or what's your thoughts on Ghostwire?
Yeah, as I said, I'd have to see a lot more. Give it another 6 months, a year. I just thought it looked a bit dated, but it looked a bit odd. Oh yeah, and it did look like what they call them, as you said, techno. The Slender Man. Yeah, he's been attacked by Slender Man. I'd have to have another look. I have another look at it and maybe give it 6 months. See how it develops because it's not out for another year anyway. So put a lot.
Yeah,
down.
I got some time.
Really
So it's like
game.
I'm watching the trailer again. It's like a mix of like Bioshock abilities with Slenderman running around and that creepy nurse from like Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Because
Go on. Sorry.
I'm a massive fan of oh my god, why can't I think? Resident Evil. I won't play the games because they'll scare me, but I'm a massive fan of it. So like that's the vibe I get when I like watch games and watch stuff that's kind of set in Japan and those sort of things. So that's the vibe I got, and I was like, oh, it makes me want to play this game.
Yeah, horror games are awesome. Love it.
So yeah, moving on to games that need more time, but unfortunately have not got more time. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Am I the only one that thinks that looks bad?
I'm all for it.
Oh.
I mean, I know. I liked it just because, just a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy ever since they came out with their movies.
Yeah, I love the movies. I
Yeah.
love Guardians of the Galaxy. I just thought this was another game that really dated. It looked like really early last gen. Yeah, compared to like when you see like I don't know, let's just say other sort of like what Sonic have done with Marvel, Spider-Man and stuff like that. This doesn't look, or even Square Enix with the Avengers. This doesn't even look on the same level as those games. It looks way below.
Wouldn't you say it'd be the developers' art style of their preference art style of making some of these games like this?
Yeah, possibly. But
Oh, reminds me a bit of what's that? The last Tomb Raider, because it's Eidos Montreal doing it, and they did the last Tomb Raider game.
yeah,
So
which looks
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they did a good job with the last Tomb Raider.
yeah, that's
They
what I mean. So I don't know what's happened, or maybe it is just they purposely chose this art style to differentiate itself from Avengers and Spider-Man. Maybe they purposely chose this art style, maybe just to stand out.
I would agree with you. I mean, this is coming out 26th of October.
Yeah.
So next month.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have a look at it. I'm not going to buy this.
No.
I will wait until it goes on sale. Because
Yeah, I mean, I want it, but not day one. Not
Yeah.
because of any negative thoughts on it, just because I got so much. So, I hate buying games day one and they end up sitting on my shelf for like months.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they go on sale for like $30 in a couple of months. You know?
So what is also interesting is that obviously Disney now are just handing out their IPs for their movies, their comics like Spider-Man, Wolverine now. We've got the Avengers. Now we've got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I wonder if Xbox will pick up one of those. I wonder if Xbox will go to Disney and go, can we have something? You know what I mean? You're just handing them out willy-nilly now. Can we have something, possibly?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if
Oh,
they did
look at that.
Or went to DC and said, can we have
Well,
a
it's
Superman game?
Indiana Jones coming. So that's one of their IPs.
Yeah, that's LucasArts. That's under LucasArts, though, which is a different branch of Marvel, though, isn't it? I know it's all under Disney, but yeah, that's LucasArts, which is what KOTOR's under. That's under LucasArts. And obviously, LucasArts I think, are more inclined to not make their games exclusive, possibly, compared to Disney, compared to Marvel, that I think just want that revenue. I'm not too sure how it works, but yeah, we have to wait and see.
I tell them, you guys make plenty of revenue, okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, this is the second showing of it, right?
Yeah.
The first one where they showed the gameplay and it was clearly struggling with the frame rate. Like obviously it looked better in this regard, but there's nothing in this that kind of stood out to me as like day one buy. Like I said, I'm not going to buy it day one. I also don't feel like the tone hit right around Guardians of the Galaxy. It didn't hit the right tone for me. So maybe it wasn't the best showing or the best trailer or the best cut. But hopefully it kind of hits what makes Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy good and great. Actually, it's getting that right tone there. So who knows? But I'm not overly impressed about it.
Yeah, I did like the guy who played Peter Quill. Actually, I did like that character. He just come across straight off. He didn't come across very good.
But they didn't start off the trailer with their typical 80s music.
Yeah.
And like some action-packed intro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They kind of did it slow and like, hey,
yeah,
we're the Guardians.
Yeah, it's a terrible sort of joke kind of thing. I think, didn't they, leading on to Peter Quill. And I thought that was a bit naff.
Any thoughts, Legal, or are you happy for us to move to the next game?
He was like, I'm dealing with my kids here. Smacking them around.
I'm done. Right, let's move on to the next game.
That's all right. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt.
I like the look of this, actually. I'm quite up for this.
I looked at it too, and I was like, I like the look of this. Did anyone play the Masquerade 2 one, whichever it was?
Wait, there's a previous one?
You know the one that was announced on Xbox's show last year, and everyone kind of trolled it and said it doesn't look next gen, and it was like the art style.
They say that about every Xbox
yeah, basically.
game.
And I was like, this looks different to what we saw when it showcased last year. So maybe this is another game or a DLC or something, because this is done by Sharkmob. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks good. I'm gonna play it, but
that Techno don't like it.
Let's see what this is. This a P versus E, or I can't tell if it's a single player or what.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, because you had loads of different sort of classes, didn't it? And and I've got the impression there might be sort of a PV
humans versus vampires.
Yeah, PvP kind of element. Yeah, and at the end they showed they were hunters, weren't they? Vampire hunters at the end.
So I mean, if it's a PvP,
like an arena.
If it's PvP, then I'm more like I'll wait until later on. You know, if it's a games for gold.
Yep.
So
I mean, I like vampires. But if it's a PvP, it's like we have plenty of those.
Yeah.
And we got another vampire game coming on Xbox's side anyway.
It's fall next year anyway, so in 2022. So yeah. So what would you rather play? That's your choice. Right, should we move? Do we need to talk? Should we move on? Oh, legal.
Yeah. Not much about there.
I'm just saying, if you really add up all the games that we have and they have, it's not even a contest for this generation.
That's not.
Like, we need to stop it. Like, it's just Xbox has all the games right now, man. It's just the facts. Yeah. I mean, it's just the facts. We got more.
I don't know, man. You just don't have the DualSense controller. You just don't know what real gen is. So that's what I'm telling you. You heard it here first.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I guess you're right. I guess if I actually played a real game, I guess experiencing 2 hours of that controller is worth it. So I guess you're right. You got me.
Yeah. And real gamers open up their consoles so they can upgrade or expand their memory or their storage. There you go.
That's right.
You heard it here first.
Facts. Because you know what? for the first time ever, somebody had to bring screwdrivers to console games.
That's right. Everybody should have a screwdriver at home.
Who? I mean, yeah. Why do you need games when you've got controllers, right? Exactly.
That's right.
Should we move on to... Do we need to talk about Deathloop? They have showed this game so many times.
Coming out September 14th, that's all I'm going to say. Next week.
Yeah, that's a shock release date, actually. I didn't think it would be yet, but
Wait,
they
were going to delay it again?
They have spent so much money on the promotion of this game, which is an Xbox game, so the Xbox game's getting free promotion, basically. But they've spent some... This game's everywhere, isn't it? It pretty much... It dominated their state of play a few months ago. They have not stopped showing this game. The adverts are everywhere. It's just weird. I think it's quite weird that they're just pushing this game so hard. What do you think?
They spent all that money, so they got to push it.
Yeah. Do you think they spent all the money...
Same
Go on, sorry.
Is the concept the same as Dead Cell, where if you die, you have to do it differently?
No.
I think it's like every time you play, you learn more, so it helps you the next time you play through. But if you die, you have to do everything all over again.
Oh, okay.
Another failed Returnal game.
What?
Hey, they did say that there were some things that you could save in your next life, so it's an upgrade over Returnal. So I guess that's the positive.
Watch and see what I tell you.
You mean that they're not going to play it because they die so often that it's going to be too hard and they're going to sell it, and then PlayStation's not going to offer them refunds because they don't have a refund policy?
Right.
Yeah.
And then?
Right.
I have nothing more to say about Death.
Because we've done this to death.
We've seen it, yeah.
Kid Amnesia exhibition. Anyone?
Next.
There wasn't really much of it, was there?
No, because apparently, from what I could look into this game, is there's another version of this game actually called like Kid Amnesia, like proper name, and so this is just maybe a variation or the DLC attached to it or something, because it's already out on is it already out on PC, I think, but it's coming to the PS5.
Yeah.
Is there a release?
I don't know if PC could run it. You need an SSD to run this game. So,
yeah, you definitely do. Yep.
Yeah. Customize SSD.
Xbox can't run it either because our SSD isn't fast enough.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, which I like. I mean, I know nothing about it, but I'm looking at the trailer right now, and they're like, ooh, going down the hall, looking at some drawings on the wall that a kid made, possibly because it's a cartoony looking. Got some words on there that makes it creepier, which I'm all about, man. The creepier the game, the better for me. But I don't know. I guess I need more.
That PlayStation game, Shower with Your Dad. Then that's quite creepy. Do you remember that game?
Which one?
Shower with Your Dad. Do you remember that game?
Shower with your dad?
I think I'm going to leave now, guys.
Don't you guys remember that game? Don't you remember it? I'm going to
Only he remembers it because he played it. The
Shower with your dad.
Yeah, there was a game called Shower with Your Dad, which everyone was really taking the piss out of PlayStation fans ages ago about.
Oh, there is one. I'm looking it up. Right?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
Shower with your dad. It's all pixelated too.
Well, this is a simulator, so it's not really a game, guys.
Oh, it's not.
Why would you want to play a simulator of how to?
Now it's stuck in my history. I'm gonna get all these ads of different things about showers and dads. That's not cool.
Do you still shower with your dad? That is what it's honestly.
That's creepy.
No.
That's another level of creepy. Right, should we go? On?
You brought it up.
Yeah, I can't unbring it up. Should we go to?
I don't.
Tchia?
Tishia? I don't know how to say it.
No, it's.
And I can't even say the studio that makes it.
Nah, it's like they've just made it up.
Awaseb?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm spooked right now. I have nothing to say.
Have you been mortified by the Shower with Your Dad game?
He's playing it now.
Yes, ma'am. I don't understand what's going on right now.
Nah, this is not for me. Not the Tashia. Nah,
Does this make you think of like Zelda at all? This
what?
is what I got. Like the music and part of it reminded me a bit of Ocarina of Majora's Mask music. there's no release window for that. The art style, I don't know what you're going to be doing in the game, but it very much felt like Zelda open world type game in which you go discover things, because they had the glider in there and all
They got the
sorts.
glider, Breath of the Wild style.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
They
getting.
got
like,
Moana. She's on a raft and just sailing away.
Yep. I mean, I'm going to look at it when it comes out because I think, excuse me, I think it might be interesting, but not day one buy for me, guys. No,
I think
it's only announced for PC and PS5 at the moment.
I think at this stage of the show, there's only about 10 minutes remaining, and I think this is where you can see that squeaky bum time. There was a lot of PS4 fans going, "Oh shit, oh shit."
They haven't showed us much. They haven't shown us much.
Oh shit. So they showed Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, basically Uncharted remaster, isn't it?
It's a remaster, and it's only 4. It's only number 4, right?
One show, 3 remasters. Yeah.
Is it the
how many remasters? How many remasters can you do to a game? Yeah. Like, it's pure garbage.
Ask Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, that's had 3, isn't it?
Same. Yeah, 3 or 4.
You got it's number 4, and then you have that Legacy, whatever, the one with the girls.
Lost Legacies.
Yeah, Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy, yeah.
And it's going to PC as well, which really upset them for some reason.
Well, that's because they're going to charge you for the remaster of Uncharted 1 that they're working on at the moment.
Full price,
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, they're mad at the wrong things again.
Yeah.
They're mad because the game is going to PC. Be mad because they actually made another remaster and you didn't get a new IP.
Yeah. No, what they should be mad about is the PC lot are probably going to get the upgraded version for free. They won't have to pay for a better version. Whereas the PS gamers will probably have to pay for the upgraded version. That's what's
the definitive
version. Exactly. Yeah. They get mad at there's man. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
No, you go legal.
Breathe, legal, breathe.
It's like the level of stupidity, man. It's just a level of stupidity. It's the level of stupidity. It's like you just can't even get on that level. It's like you're mad at the wrong things, and this is why things keep happening to y'all. Because y'all are straight stupid.
Yeah. Should we move on to the next one?
I was just going to say that if you want to play Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, the definitive edition is going to be on the PC because that's got the best specs with scalability.
Yeah.
And for people to be mad at this game, which has been out forever, by the way,
6
on
years.
the PS4. Yeah. And now you're trying to gatekeep this game off the PC. Yeah. Get over yourself.
And these, remember taking us back to, these are the people that said about we've got to wait a whole year for thingy, and the sort of
been waiting 11 years for KOTOR.
Yeah.
Oh no, Alan Wake. Sorry, KOTOR's longer.
Yeah, KOTOR's even longer.
6.
Yeah. Should we move on to this is where the show started. They had 5 minutes remaining. They thought, we better throw some games. So they showed Marvel's Wolverine, made by Insomniac Games.
That's some smooth jabs there, man.
Yeah, no release window, and it was just a CGI teaser, just him basically sitting at a bar.
That's your typical Sony presentation of a game, man. Here's a logo or very very short CGI trailer. And no date.
No release window.
No gameplay. And when Xbox did that at their show, slaughtered.
Oh yeah, it's no good. It's trash.
They're okay.
It's fantastic. Way to go, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah, that
on the back.
That was a shock, just for 2 reasons. One, I was surprised they managed to get another Disney game, Marvel IP, another game.
Yeah.
Marvel game. I'm shocked. They must have thrown a load of money at Disney for that. But secondly, Insomniac, they must be. How are they working so hard to be? They've already turned out Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Ratchet and Clank.
DLC.
Yeah,
well, I bet you anything. It's the base. They're gonna use Spider-Man as the base, and then slap on Wolverine.
Yeah.
Skins on it.
I'll get that into that on God of War, but I think that is
minus the swinging.
That's what I said on Twitter. It's just like Spider-Man, Miles Morales is basically just copy paste of Spider-Man 2018, and then Ratchet and Clank is pretty much copy paste of the previous Ratchet and Clank, which came out I think in 2017, 16. This I think Wolverine will just be it's going to be the same game mechanics, and everything. It just will be a different sort of, different characters and stuff. But I think it will basically be the mechanics. The world is already there. They will just reuse everything again, I imagine. So
I hope they get
can churn them out.
I hope, because I love Wolverine, so I hope they get the tone of Wolverine down, because it's grittier and such and more realistic than Spider-Man. So I really hope that they do that justice, because it definitely deserves justice for that style and that IP. I don't know, like,
if it's not 18,
I think it's good that
it
18 plus.
It has to be 18 plus, or it's rubbish.
We're gonna see like rice on a room in the sense of limbs being like chopped off and like
you want to see
quick
people
time
getting
event.
skewered. Yeah, you got to see that. It's got to be just gore. It's got to be nasty and heavy and gore. If they tone this down, it will bomb massively. I reckon. Sony fanboys will love it regardless, but I reckon the media will attack it. A lot of journalists will attack it if it's toned down and it's like made all sort of soft.
Oh yeah,
I reckon.
It is a nice win for.
I mean, if Wolverine goes, if he gets hit and he goes, "Owie," then they're gonna get drilled for it.
Yeah. Well, if he gets knocked down, he goes wah 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 wah. Or
he holds his knee and he goes,
yeah.
I would really have something to say about it if it was really real to the fact of that community, because they didn't play the first Wolverine. They didn't play the second Wolverine. So it goes back to that Spider-Man situation.
Yeah.
They didn't play Spider-Man. The only reason they're playing Spider-Man now is because Spider-Man gives them that's right. Spider-Man gives them a narrative, okay? Once it became exclusive, we got to go out here, and they knew it. We got to go out here and do everything we can so that Xbox fans would never get this game. And I'm like, I don't care about Spider-Man. You know how many Spider-Man games I played? Yeah. And you know how many Spider-Man games I didn't play because Spider-Man was never a big deal to begin with. Never. He was never a big deal to begin with in gaming. Period. Even in the arcades, man, we didn't go crazy over the Spider-Man game. Right? We liked it. But you want to know the game that we actually went crazy over with? The X-Men game, the Uncanny X-Men game. Yeah. That's the one that took over. Because they had what? They had the Avengers, they had the Spider-Man game, and they had the X-Men game. Out of those three, and the Punisher. Out of those four, X-Men was the one that everybody wanted to play. Yeah. That's just facts. Because everybody knows what the Spider-Man games were all about. Swinging around the city. People are like, we do this every Spider-Man game.
These nuts.
Are you saying all PlayStation gamers are secretly swingers?
Yeah, I'm saying they like to swing on things.
That shower with your dad game is playing so much now.
That's a lifestyle.
It gave them a narrative. Just like right now. It's a shame. Right?
Swinging.
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at the fact at the fakery, but the numbers don't lie, right? Yeah. So when you think about it, last gen, what was their greatest game? What was their greatest exclusive? Spider-Man. It wasn't God of War. It wasn't Gran Turismo. It wasn't Uncharted. It wasn't the games that made Sony. It was Spider-Man. What's the seen game on YouTube? Their trailers look at what their trailer event shows. What's the most seen? Spider-Man. Because that means that much to them to keep that. They're not playing these other games, but we been saying. You remember when Uncharted came out with that fact release article that said 82% of PlayStation owners have never played the Uncharted series. I don't understand why we even listen to these clowns anymore. Why are we listening to them? There's too much evidence against their claims. Like, the only reason they're doing this right now is for the sake of comedy of the console wars. All these dudes are fake. All these dudes are lames. All these dudes are casuals. And look, ain't nothing wrong being a casual. Just be relevant. Yeah. That's all. They're doing too much talking, less gaming to represent the gaming culture, and it's just simply because they have a platform, and they've been doing it for so long that they got an audience that they just entertain that with. But everybody's not entertained with that audience, so you have to either figure out a way to get out of that algorithm, get around some real gamers, and that's why I'm glad I'm around you guys. It's a new breed. It's a new generation. It's good to hear real gaming language. And I'm just glad that y'all accept me to be around in y'all's realm.
Good, man.
I'm just on.
Wild Horse made a good point. Kojima, MIA, as
Yeah.
per usual. He's so busy working on that director's cut version of his game.
So he keeps promoting the director's cut version. He only cares because he always out for himself. He gives no fucks about Sony, does he? Really, he just plays that Jeff Keighley, doesn't he? Jeff Keighley thinks he's his buddy, but he just plays him.
Maybe those two play that shower with your dad game together.
Maybe.
Oh man.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, Jack. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah. Should we move on then to the final game? I don't think
Did
they
we
should have
already
showed this last. Oh, do you want to talk about Spider-Man 2? Oh yeah, what do you think of it? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Right, Spider-Man 2, so while we're on the subject.
We already
You sure
talked
you don't
about
want to talk
GT.
about GTC?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no,
GT7?
That's not a
Gran
game,
Turismo?
though.
I mean, do we really have to talk about that one? Because we got Forza.
Right, so,
I thought this was funny that GT7, which was delayed till next year, doesn't have a release date. It's got a release window.
yeah.
How long has this game been in
I
development?
thought somebody told me it was in March. Also.
They only put 2022 out on the trailer.
Okay.
So maybe there's been some more info that's come out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not like they're going to push any units anyways. I mean, the game is Forza. I mean, the real racing game is Forza. So, I mean, who would want to play this?
And there's people doing comparisons with the two and saying Forza actually looks better than this. This is so.
Yeah.
It's
Well, we haven't even
GT
we
don't
haven't
stand a
even
chance against Forza.
we haven't even seen Forza Motorsport gameplay yet, like actual gameplay. They had their trailer because they were working on the updated engine
And
for
that's
the
going to
new
be
game.
next gen only as well. So it's going to
Yeah.
obliterate GT7. GT7 won't be a thing after.
Nah,
Forza Horizon's
nah,
going to
it'll
kill it, and then Forza Motorsport will bury it.
GT7 looks like a remaster of GT Sport. Like it's an improvement, but it doesn't feel next gen. And all they were doing was trying to show off ray tracing as this flashy new thing when you know
Well,
that
they
it's
don't
not gonna
have
be
any
as-
racing games whatsoever.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And
I
they
just
They Drive
just-
Club?
Drive Club.
Yes, Drive Club.
Forza
Yeah,
Killer. Do you
remember
remember that
that
one?
one?
It's going to be a Forza Killer. Do you remember that? Wow.
I heard through the grapevine.
It's like Killzone.
Yeah.
I heard through one of my highest insiders that I know out here that they're making a remaster of Drive Club.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Ooh.
That's a seller.
So are you saying that's going to be GT7 killer?
Yeah, the show was so great that they showed so many updated releases that were going to come out years to come. I will say this because of my insights. Sony made the greatest show to reveal games that aren't coming out. That was the greatest show that they did for games that ain't coming out. I will give them that.
26.
Right. But yeah, the game, don't expect the game to like 2026, but it's coming. Drive Club Remastered. You heard it here from the new legal. I got word from my insight.
Interesting.
Why don't we start doing that? Why don't we just start telling everybody that we got news from our insight? I mean, why not, man?
Yeah,
We're on
everyone
social
does
media.
that. They all do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do that all the time, man. I got insiders all over the place.
My insider's
Facts. Just do it.
That's my
Huh.
insider.
So whatever he says, you say the opposite, and he
Yeah.
gets it wrong, and you get it right.
Yeah, that's it. He's my reverse insider. You know what's interesting is that I was being told by the fanboys before the show kicked off is that they've got, and we've all heard this, Sony have got 25 games in development. Yet they only showed 2 at this show.
25, right? Isn't it 25?
25 games in development. Sony Studios are developing. So
I loved how they bragged that
Where
when they
are they?
first said it, and like they haven't shown anything.
They showed nothing. And they're like, oh yeah, they're going to show them next time. And you think, they've played you again. They keep
You
playing.
guys are so dead. Xbox done.
Yeah, you've got no games. Where Sony have got 25 games
Bro.
in the pipeline. What name one?
Over
We
14.
can't. but they're there.
Got them. We know this
We know
because
that.
they love us.
Yeah, it's because it's
I think it's-
Sony. They wouldn't do this.
Dad
Yeah.
in the shower.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Look,
Hold it, Dad. I'm
GT7.
coming, Dad. I've got to go. My dad's calling me.
they've got Forza Horizon 5 coming out in November, right?
Yep.
And that's an open world racing game. And the scope on that is way larger than the scope on GT7. Yet that game looks so much better
Yeah.
than GT7.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can only imagine what Turn 10 Studios are doing working on Forza Motorsports, because that I think is going to make GT7 look
Well,
like
that's your true sim racer right there with the regular
Yep.
motorsport one. So
I reckon
they have to make it.
I reckon this is why they've got nothing until next year. I reckon they delayed GT7 to move it away from Forza Horizon because they knew it would just be destroyed. Just like because they released GT Sport against Forza Motorsport, didn't they? 7, I think, or 6, whatever it was.
Yeah, 7.
And it got absolutely crushed by Forza, didn't it? It just embarrassed. But I think the rating of GT Sport was only like 74 or something, whereas I think Motorsport had a rating in the 90s, did it, or was like high 80s? I reckon I won't be surprised if they moved GT7 to avoid Horizon, because Horizons always hit in the 90s, didn't they? Or every Horizon I think has hit the 90s, and I reckon this will be lucky to make an 80s score. I reckon
because Playground Games and even Turn 10 Studios, in comparison to Polyphony Digital, are on a next level in comparison to that. Yeah, the stuff that they push out is amazing, but getting away from GT7 and moving to
a lot of time on
Spider-Man-
GT.
Yeah, man.
considering we don't talk about it.
Marvel Spider-Man 2, also Insomniac, and it has a release window of 2023, which is probably going to be 2024, to be honest.
I already put my pre-order in already.
You did?
No,
You did? It's PS5 only, right?
You know,
Obviously.
no, no, I don't know. I don't know if it's
That's the other thing. They didn't say that either. They didn't say that, which is concerning because they did the same for God of War. They didn't tell you if it was PS5 only. Xbox have openly said what games are next gen only, haven't they? They've said Xbox Series X only or something, haven't they? They've said that.
Yeah.
Sony have not done that.
They've been a lot more open.
Yeah, they've not done that. They've kept it back. And they just want, just like God of War, they didn't tell you if it was going on PS4. They just want you to believe it is. If it goes
No,
PS5.
I think they did say at first that games like Horizon and God of War were gonna be PS5 only, and then because of everything, like no sales and nobody can get a PS5, they have to extend it to PS4.
Cross-gen,
Yeah, because there's a big user base on the PS4 still. They got to make that money back.
Yeah.
Well,
And so they eventually said, yes, it's going to PS4. And a lot of PS5 people are just pissed off about that. Like, hey, that's why the Civil War is going on.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't you get a PS5? It's like, nobody can get a PS5 except the ones that do have it,
This does look... Talking about the game, this does actually look far better than Miles Morales and the last Spider-Man. It does look better, more interesting. I reckon I'm going to throw this in there. I don't think
Venom's involved.
I don't think he's the baddie. I think it's Kraven the Hunter, because the bit where they're both fighting someone and they both turn and someone talks to them and they turn around and look into the shadows. The voice.
That's Venom, right?
Wouldn't that Spawn?
It showed.
Or I'm sorry.
No, it's
Venom.
Venom. It's
Sorry,
Venom.
Spawn. Where am I going?
It showed Venom, but the voice.
It's Venom because it's me.
But if you listen to the voice didn't match Venom. The voice sounded like Kraven the
Yeah,
Hunter.
it did at first, but it's clearly Venom.
Well, yeah,
Because they're talking as a second. Right, not just that, but you also got to say it's we. The symbiote is talking.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. I've got a feeling for some reason that it's going to be Kraven. He's going to be the main enemy, not Venom. I reckon it's just a sort of them just trying to hide stuff.
The release window for this game explains why you had Miles Morales come out. Because imagine if you had Spider-Man and then wait till 2023 for Spider-Man 2. So they needed something as a filler to keep people engaged and hype for the next Spider-Man game. Yeah. So that explains why they released Miles Morales, which is technically DLC, as a standalone game, to offset it and go, this is the caliber, this is what you're going to expect. But if there was like 5 years in between the first game and the second game, that would have been a nightmare. So they needed some Sony filler or fodder. Yeah, gaming fodder.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. PS4.
I don't have much to say about this. I like Venom, so I think people who love the Spider-Man games are gonna enjoy it. But it's just I don't know, another Spider-Man game. There's just so many.
Yeah.
Well, they're
that's-
milking like every Marvel thing
That's my
possible,
worry.
you know.
The thing,
That's my worry
right.
about Wolverine.
The thing is, people aren't understanding that there's no way a game developer is making these games this fast. So when Insomniac got bought out, right? We already know why they got bought out and why the deals were contracted out, because Marvel and Sony made that movie deal.
Yep.
So now they're basing everything off of the okay, both companies are winning
Before the
because
deal
we
ends.
know
Yeah.
right, they know that Venom movie is coming, right? Venom versus Carnage is coming. So they need a game that's going to advertise not only for that movie, because you got to remember, Sony is still struggling in that department. They still alone have not made $1 billion Marvel game. I mean, Marvel movie. Still, to this day, to this very day. So let's don't get that confused. Like, oh, Marvel. I mean, Sony is this major successful Spider-Man movie production company when they're not. They've been catching L's from the beginning, except for the last one. But that's because Disney allowed Spider-Man to use the MCU universe, so it sold. But Sony didn't get all those proceeds, right? It was split. It was some money went to both companies. So upon that, we know why. Right. Upon that, we know that the deals were made. So when you're thinking about it, right, it's perfect. Insomniac threw out Miles Morales, blindly threw it out there, right? And you can immediately see the dumb reaction from their fan bases that are disconnected from reality. Oh, we got this game. We got the game. Then it comes out later on that this game was going to be no longer than 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours, depending on how fast you play it, right? So everybody started talking about it was a standalone. So when people started calling it out, because the real gamers are going to investigate, not blinded fan base sheep heads, right? But real gamers. So the real gamers started investigating, and it was like, yo, this is the same city. This is the same city, same exact city in the Spider-Man previously. There's nothing changed. The same outline, same everything. But they put Miles Morales, and then more people was like, well, if you played the game, you would know Miles Morales was coming because he was in the previous Spider-Man game. So it makes sense that he would be popping up out of nowhere, right? But then watch this. Insomniac had to come out and say, well, listen, it's a standalone. It's an expansion game. And then it was like, bro, it's a DLC. 5 hours? What are you talking about? Okay, so if it makes you feel better, that's why Insomniac wanted to say expansion, because it just sounds better. It doesn't sound like the reality of what's going on. Now hear me out, because this takes a little bit. They didn't want you to say DLC because that's the same situation that's going over there on God of War. The reason God of War came out and had no DLCs. You know why it had no DLCs? Because Corey is brain tight, and he admitted it on the show. I'm exhausted. They wore this dude out, and you got to remember, he's not the original developer that came in with the idea. He was thrown in to recreate it. Remember, he was thrown in to recreate it because he's the one that said,
reboot,
"Let's do." There you go. Let's do something different. He was like, no, let's just do something different. And where did he get his ideas from? Rise, son of Rome. These are all facts. So the community was already split, remember? Because the OG heads of God of War didn't like that. They was like, dude, Kratos can jump, he can roll, he can flip. We can't do none of that. It's linear. The game is linear. You can't walk around anywhere. You got to go where the game shows you. And then you only get 3 enemies on board at one time to fight all the way through the game. All the way through the game. But, if they want to praise that game, let them. That's their game. But what I'm saying is, there was a reason for the DLCs not being in there. They made the article. We showcased it today, me and Stone King X. That they're not going to say, we're just exhausted and we really didn't have the time to make DLC, which would have been the truth. Not going to say that. They're going to say, well, the game's idea of making this game was so big that we just have so much to do with this game that it's just preventing us to make DLCs. You believe that? So watch this. Now, what do you think they showed you? What do y'all really think they showed you? Because your eyes didn't fool y'all. And it didn't fool it didn't fool the top-notch PlayStation fans who are out there. Didn't fool them. People started saying, this game looks just like... When I called Tech up, the first thing Tech said, dude, are they making a God of War remaster? I said, why are you saying that, bro? I'm thinking I'm like, being funny. He's like, dude, because this looks just like he said it with a pure heart. He said, because it looks just like that place. It looks like a PlayStation 4 game.
Mm-hmm.
His innocence told the truth. He didn't think about that. He said it instantly. His eyes didn't fool him. That what you saw on that show was the DLC that didn't get put into the game. That's all it is. And all they're doing now is putting it all together. They're expanding at what they've already created. They're expanding it. That's all they're doing. They already had the game, but they know they don't have a library. So they're okie doking their community again. Same thing with Spider-Man. Nobody believes Spider-Man's coming out next year. Nobody believes that. They talking about 2023. It ain't coming out. If it does, it's coming out late 2023. Don't even look for it no time soon. Let's don't stop talking about it after this show. And let's don't even bring up Wolverine. Don't even bring up Wolverine. We don't know when that game. We don't know when that game is going to be done. It's just they saw a trailer for 45 seconds and they lost their minds. That's beautiful Sony genius right there, and I love it because they're gonna let them down. They only got 2 games. They only got 2 big games for next year. There's going to be no game bigger than Horizon Forbidden West. We already know that. Sony's not going to make another game that's going to be bigger than it. That's the game seller. Gran Turismo Sport is supposed to be the racer, and they'll get like a mediocre next exclusive to end out the year for next year. Just
Uncharted Legacy of Thieves remaster.
There you go. They're going to get 3 games. That's it. That's it. But when that God of War drops, that's really it, because that's their biggest. Spider-Man is their biggest seller, right? So guess what they're doing again? What? I know y'all hate me. But watch this. This is Sony one-on-one textbook genius. Why do you think Spider-Man the game is not coming out now? Because if it comes out now and it's their top seller, they have nothing else to give them for this period of generation.
They forgot how to cut and paste.
There you go. So Spider-Man is going to come out in the middle of the generation towards the end, just like the last one, so they can make one more push of the console sales. That's it. It's like my man Sekiro King said, it's a placeholder. 2023 is a placeholder. Hold your breath if that game comes out in 2023. Hold your breath. It's a placeholder year. Ain't nobody stupid. Only the blind donkey heads are stupid, man. Ain't nobody else stupid out here. It's a pattern with Sony. So they're going to be miserable this whole gen because they're going to see us playing new game after new game after new game. Our list just tramples their list. It's just what it is. So let them come out here with their blind fury. Let them rage. Let them troll. The reality's still going to remain that you have no games this year. Let them say, oh, we got the best game. Let them. What do you think they're supposed to do? What do y'all think they're supposed to do?
Which is going to be Returnal all over again, too hard.
Yeah. Poor Deathloop. Watch, mark my words, poor Deathloop. You never had a chance.
I can't believe that was too hard.
Deathloop never had a chance. Just like Godfall.
You've got nothing for the holiday season. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing for the Christmas tree.
Right. Did y'all believe Godfall was going to sell? Come on. Look at Godfall.
Oh, yeah, man. God,
look at all those DOAs. Right. Look at all those DOAs. All those DOAs sitting out there in the graveyard right now. Godfall. Didn't make it. Sitting over there in the graveyard. Fell victim to being a new game.
I mean, PlayStation had an opportunity here for a showcase right before the holiday season to actually show a game that's releasing for the holiday season to get their base hyped up, and they did nothing. Absolutely nothing. All they did was show you 2022 and beyond, and that's it. What about the people who want to play something today or in a month's time? No, you've got remasters coming.
Yeah. That's right. And at all honesty, panel, at all honesty, how can you? That's right. How can you promote something when you don't even have your consoles out? When you can't even push your consoles out? And remember, they just pushed the year up again. They said now it could be 2023 to 2024 that the PlayStation 5 consoles will be available all over the place. They just pushed it up another year because you remember it was 2022. Think about it. They're timing this thing because once they get the rumor out, which will probably be true, in a year or so, we'll probably hear about another PlayStation 5 Pro it'll be right on set to promote the Spider-Man game. You heard it here from the new legal.
Yeah. I think Techno, have you got to make a move? You got to go.
Yeah, I'm at to head out because my son's like, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet? I'm hungry."
What was your rating for the
Yes,
PlayStation Showcase before you go? What did you rate it out of 10?
It wasn't bad. Out of 10, if anything, I would say a 7. You know, just because a lot of it's, you know, a lot of remasters, a lot of it's going to Xbox. It's not really their exclusive. It's just all timed. Sure, God of War, you know, it's the next one, but just like Legal said, you know, I thought it was who?
At the start streaming.
Oh no!
Connection successful. It just did.
Oh no! Yeah, I see it dropped on the.
1 second. Yeah, we're fixing it.
I think you picked up again.
Everything good? Everything okay?
Are we live again?
Yeah, I think it's picked up again. Yeah. So it wasn't too bad. It was just a lot of remasters and a lot of Multiplat games. You know, when you see a Sony show, you would think, hey, a lot of exclusive games that's only on PlayStation, whether it's 4 or 5, and there wasn't really none. You know.
Smoke and mirrors. All right. Well.
Yep.
Tech, let everyone know where they can find you and jump out. Yeah. Thank you for
What's
joining
up,
us.
everybody? Yep. You can find me on Twitter at TechnoBlast, just the way it's spelled in the chat room, or I mean not in the chat room, but here I put it in the chat room right now.
Yeah, do it.
And my YouTube channel is Technos, just like in the chat room with my handle showing there. And that's the only 2 places you'll find me because everything else will be too much work. No Instagram, no Snapchat, no TikTok.
Yeah, I've got none of that. Please take a moment. Yeah, he's only on grind like me. Please take a moment to drop him a sub and go and check him out. Check out his channel.
Thank you again for joining us,
Thank you,
Techno.
Techno.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sometime.
Always. Let me know for next time, right? But I got to feed this kid now, so
Yeah.
sorry for dropping out like that.
That's right.
Fair enough.
Bye, guys.
Appreciate you, Tech. All right, bye-bye.
I think it's interesting, like God of War Ragnarok, what showed there. Like, there's no release window. Like, first they say it's delayed to 2022. Now they don't even show a release window date on the trailer that they showed. So when is this game actually coming out? 2023, guys.
So you've gone to God of
You're
War,
gonna get strung. Yeah, you're gonna get strung along another year. For this game. The only thing that they showed was like there's more weapons and such that are from the original titles. It does look slightly better, but you can definitely tell it was what Legal's talking about, like based off when they were going to do DLC and it was just too big a scope. So it doesn't feel like a proper. I don't think it would feel like a proper sequel. Essentially, you're going to have to wait till the end of the generation to get a proper God of War next-gen PS5 title out of Sony Santa Monica.
Yeah.
You're going to be waiting a year. I mean, wait until the end of the generation. This didn't tell me anything. I was more hyped for God of War Ragnarok when they showed just the symbol than I was when I saw this trailer.
Yeah. I think, personally, when I watched it, I thought it looked last gen as well. It looked like God of War 2018. In fact, I thought it even looked slightly worse. I did think the mechanics looked good. The story didn't look as good, didn't look as interesting or gripping or anything. It looked worse than the 2018 version. Also, which I've watched, it's Alex, which the guys were talking about on there actually, on that show, podcast, which are all big God of War fans. They said they had loads to say about it. But the major disappointment is, you know how they got it out so quickly? You know, the world it's setting is exactly the same world in Ragnarok as 2018. They're using exactly the same map. They've just basically copy-pasted the whole map over. But they've just covered it in snow. That's what they're saying. When you're going around on the bit where he goes around on the dogs.
What did I say, Lee?
Yeah.
In the 2018 game, you go across that land, but you're on foot. But in this, you're on your boat. But in this, you're just on the dogs and things like that. They've just basically used exactly the same map, but just covered it all in snow. They've made it more snowy, which is just lazy, basically.
Are we going to say Legal?
I was just saying, Elite's proving my point once again. it's cut and paste, man.
Yeah.
It's exactly goes back to what was already previously said. They're not redoing this whole game, man. This game ain't built from the ground up. This isn't that. This is put together stuff. This is stuff that's already been put together, and they're just breaking it apart, making it seem like they got something.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait till to the end of the generation for an actual next gen version of that game.
I won't be surprised if they do release, because I was also told that there's only one more game coming. It's not going to be a trilogy, or it's not going to be like another series. There's going to be one more game coming, and it's apparently going to be set in Egypt.
And then after that, there'll be remasters, because that's how they milk their franchises.
Yeah, but there's only one more game coming, and but it's going to be set in Egypt. Apparently, it's meant to be bouncing through the mythologies, which it just sounds awful. It sounds awful if they're going to do that. But but won't be surprised if yes, as you said, they've quickly, just like they've done with Spider-Man 2018, then Miles Morales. I feel like Thor Ragnarok is like the Miles Morales of God of War, and then they're going to chuck out later on a proper next-gen version game of it, which all the fans go, yeah, God of War, again, yeah, they'll be like just like Spider-Man 2, yeah, another Spider-Man, yeah, another sequel, yeah, they're going to be like that. While, Xbox will be churning out new IPs and new games and all new content. They're just going to be hyped for remasters, remakes, and sequels, and it's just lazy of Sony. But good on them for being able to play their fans so easily.
Yeah. Legal, what was your thoughts about the overall show now that we've kind of gone through all the games that showed? What did you think of the overall show?
Well, thank you for asking. I would say that the show was a 5 based off of the PlayStation expertise of knowledge of how to tell us what we should brag about and what we shouldn't. By the common law of their community, their laws suggest that simulations aren't games. Shows that don't show gameplay are not real shows. Don't show games that are not coming out for you to play in your current year. And so I judged it off their own laws. So I can't go against that. That their laws are solid. And so I give it a 5 because the notorious one of all is the remasters, and the remasters got them. So remasters aren't anything to brag about. That's a rule in Sony's law book. So if they got tons of remasters, they got a bunch of games that they're not going to play this year. They got a show that showed no gameplay. How am I supposed to give it a mediocre score? They failed to live up to the standards of the PlayStation community and their laws. So I will give them one more point because some of the PlayStation guys in their community stood tall. I have to give respect where I saw it. So because the leaders of their PlayStation community kept it real, I'm gonna give them one more point and agree with them. I'm gonna say the show was a solid 6. It was a solid 6. Anybody who says otherwise is just pure lying. You're pure lying. You're lying, and it's okay. We get it. I understand that you wanna stand tall for your community, but you just can't be corny about it. Right? You can't be corny about it. At some point, you gotta keep it real. So the show was a 6. It didn't live up to the Sony laws, and that's pretty much it. Ain't really nothing to talk about. I mean, they don't have no games to play. So what was the basis of the show? To be honest, okay, y'all want my to be honest, any real gamer can talk about games, period, right? So, but I'm saying they because of their stupidity talk, got a tough pill to swallow. If they didn't talk so stupid all the time, hey man, because we don't really care, right? Let's just keep it honest. We don't really care. Talk about Wolverine. Talk about your 45-second trailer. Talk about your Spider-Man. Talk about it. Care? But just understand, you can't be caught in your community yapping about all this nonsense and then
reconnect the stream, Elite. Are you able to?
We drops. And we're back in the room?
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, cool.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
All right.
So a solid 6 from you. I would agree. Like I guess the biggest thing for me was there were so many games that were shown that I knew I would be able to play on the Xbox. So that's what was exciting for me. Like the fact that I could see these games that were announced that I could get to play on my preferred platform. Overall, the show didn't give me any reason to actively go out and buy a PlayStation 5 for any reason. There were at least 4 remasters shown there. 4 out of the 18 games that they did show. And there were only like 6 games that were specifically out of the 18 games that they showed that were specifically like next gen only sort of PlayStation equivalent of exclusives.
Yeah.
It wasn't something to really talk about.
Xbox games, basically.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot to talk about. Yeah, we had a lot of they had a lot of the same things that we had in the last year's show where we had like Fable announced and it was just a little cinematic and then the overview and then the trailer name, like the game name. So you're getting a lot of that. But I feel like this far into the generation, we don't need to be seeing that now. Start showing gameplay because they have a history of telling us that isn't what makes a showcase. It's the gameplay. So keep to your word, and such. But what's interesting is the people who have been comparing this showcase to Xbox's E3 this year, and saying that they preferred it over the E3 showing. So there for the E3 showing. Hell, this was a better show than their own E3 because they didn't even show up. Like to compare a show that they didn't even show up to, get out of here. Like, I think it's ridiculous. It's bullshit. But overall, I wasn't overly impressed with the show. Like I said, I was excited about the games that I knew that were going to be multiplat that I could play on the Xbox. And I don't really like GT7. I'm going to be playing an equivalent and better game on my Xbox with Forza Motorsports. I'll be playing a better game with Forza Horizon 5. Like, there's no reason for me to be hyped about that game. They didn't show me anything new. Yeah, I'm a 6.5. I'm on the 6.5. It wasn't the best show that they've ever done. It wasn't the Sony that they came out last generation, just killed it every time. No. And I think they're struggling. Like they are running into a desert of they don't have any games for the remainder of the year that aren't Xbox games, or remasters. And it's going to be a little light on games for the PlayStation community up until these games start releasing. They gave us hell when Xbox started announcing their acquisitions, and they're like, "Where are the games? You've got all these acquisitions. Games take a while to make." So keep that same energy, guys.
Yeah. I think after the show, I think I messaged you, didn't I? Red saying I gave it a 6 out of 10. As you said, there was I think 4 remasters. 4 the games are basically Xbox titles. You got Deathloop, Ghost of Tokyo, KOTOR, and Alan Wake are basically old Xbox titles. They didn't show Kena, which is released in a month's time. For oddly, didn't show that game. Why did they show Kena? That's just odd that they didn't show that.
All the time.
Yeah.
I always forget about Kena.
Yeah, even though it's released next month. I find that weird that they've not shown a game that's releasing literally next month still. They've got... Oh, hello, Louise. Thanks for joining us. Hello. Was that Lewis? Sorry, Lewis. Sorry, Louise. I thought it said Louise. Sorry, it's my eyes. It's because it's late. Sorry, it's like... 1 in the morning. 2 in the morning for me. 1 in the morning. Where was I? Yes. There was a lot of filler, a lot of nonsense. They only showed 2 first-party next-gen titles, which was Marvel, Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, and that's not even confirmed. They still could be cross-gen. God of War looks like DLC. It does look like just delayed DLC. It didn't look good at all. And if as you sort of said, if you do a like-for-like, next year, 2022, you've got Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a cross-gen title, is going to go head-to-head with Starfield, which is a next-gen new IP, Xbox new IP. You've got GT7 is going to go head-to-head with Forza Motorsport next year, so we know who's going to win that fight. And then we don't even know... And then we've got Redfall as well. I don't think they've got any other first-party games coming next year. And then we've got Redfall. So, I gave it... It was a clear 6. Clear 6. just because Wolverine was a surprise show, and I think that pulled the score up. Otherwise, I think it would have been more of a 4. Ragnarok didn't impress at all. There is no reason to buy a PlayStation. Look, watch that show, as you said. There's no reason to get a PlayStation 5 at the moment. You might as well wait for a PlayStation Pro in 2024, and then get these games in, if they're out by then.
My biggest concern about the show itself was they've been quiet for so long about their roadmap, and this is how they want to kind of put their foot first and to go, this is what to expect this generation. You've put your foot forward wrong. You should have just been like going with more games that are like first party rather than like the remakes and stuff. That could be done in a smaller showcase, because this was your Sony PlayStation showcase, and it just didn't feel like it was a Sony PlayStation showcase. And it's been so dry on the ground for games anyway for them that they've had nothing really to talk to. So this is obviously going to be what they latch onto and hold on to dear life like a life raft, and try and spit rubbish at us in our own Xbox community, because that's all they have. Like, if you're going to do a PlayStation blowout showcase, you after a very long time of not talking about the games that are coming, you got to make it really impactful, and it wasn't impactful. That's all. That it just didn't hit the right tone. And your community, some of your community agrees with that, and some of the PlayStation community doesn't agree with that because they're just blind fanboys. But just tell it like it is. It's not their best show ever, and they could have done a hell of a lot better. They're holding back so many games. They didn't need to hold back that many games. They didn't really show enough. They showed cross-gen remakes, remasters, etc., and a couple of PS5 games that are coming out in the near future. One day. Yeah, that's all I have to say out of it. Anything else? Anything else, guys? Anyone else want to add anything? No, I think that's it.
I'm pretty good. I'm good. I think that's it. I think y'all wrapped it up real nicely.
Thank you for joining us today, Legal. Just remind everyone where they can find you, and then I think we're gonna end the show.
Listen, thank y'all for having me on. This is your friendly neighborhood, the new Legal. It's been an honor to be on the show once again. It's good to see each and every one of you. Thanks, Red Dead Panda. Thanks, Lee Guru. Thank you, TechnoBlast. You can find me, like I said, on YouTube, Direct Gaming. You can just type in my gamer tag. You guys leave my name, leave my gamer tag out there for them to tag if they want to check out my YouTube channel. But type it in the same way they spelled out to you guys, and Direct Gaming will pop up, and that's our channel. Me and TechnoBlast, Six Layer, and the realest one, and J Rock for right now, representing the streets. We always try to keep a chair for the streets for people who just want to get their voices heard. And talk good stuff in the Xbox community. So thanks for giving me a chance to be on y'all's show today. I had a blast. And everybody be safe out there. Keep it Xbox strong and just keep it gaming, y'all. You're on the right platform when it comes to games. So you have nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Legal. I'm going to try and jump on your show at some point in the next couple of weeks. And thank you, Other Zinc, for saying excellent show, great recap. As always, you're so insightful and you just keep it real every time. And you spit truth there, Legal. So I really appreciate having you on as a guest. And same to Tech. Loved having you on as a guest. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And
we'll close it off.
Hit that sub, like, and we'll
thanks all.
Jump out.
And we'll see you next week for episode 25.
25.
Keep it going, y'all.
Hopefully, we have some good news.
Peace.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye all.